Everyone, welcome to the last 2 days of June, June 29th and 30th, if I'm correct. Yep. So we're going to wrap up this topic in the next day or two of time management and organization. If you're interested in that topic, we have all of this month's webinars of June. You're welcome to go back and listen to them on the Real Estate Grad School website if you're a coaching client. And haven't decided yet what our topic will be for July. So if you have some topics in mind, negotiating crossed my mind, if you have some topics in mind that you'd like to see us, please email me, rich@realestategradschool.com, rich@realestategradschool.com, and perhaps I'll take into account your whatever topics you would like to see covered, even if it's something we've covered already, something you want covered again. I'm always open to move with you. All right, today's a live call day, so we have a live Q&A call at 8:30 and 11:30. Live Q&A calls at 8:30 and 11:30 Eastern. So right after this, we're going to be on a live call. And on our live calls, we typically talk about our topic of the day, our topic of the month, but we also answer all the questions you have, talk about everything that will help you move your business forward. So hook up, see you on that call. All right, over to our topic of the day. I'm always eager to get to our topic of the day quickly. So our topic of the month has been time management, organization, routines, and systems. Time management and organization are the issues, the problems, the topic. Routines and systems are the solution to it. So let's go over some of the things we've already talked about and then bring in something new. We said that, okay, I'm sorry, I have another piece here. We have a new resource document. I did a workshop a bunch of times called what's it called? A More Powerful Listing Presentation, and I gave the people who attended the workshop a bunch of gifts. Pre-listing questions over the phone, the document on why your home will sell or not that you use both at your listing presentation and so that you can get quicker, easier price reductions. The listing first 24-hour checklist, which is a powerful listing presentation tool, helps you get more listings more quickly, as well as it's a good guideline for you and your team once you get the listing. The Gary Tritz is a trainer in Wisconsin with Stark Real Estate. The great piece of pricing data. Some of you have these things because I've given them away over the years, but I put them all together for the people who are in this workshop. The pricing model that really shows what Gary Tritz proves, which is that a house that's not priced right at the beginning will ultimately sell for less. Great data, and helps you get price reductions and get them sold more quickly. And then property need letters and samples, and many of you have those. Now those will be posted on tomorrow's resource document. We can't post them on Monday because then everyone who wasn't a coaching client would get them for free. And although we give a lot away for free, these are some of the things you get as a coaching client. So just to let you know, that'll be our resource document for tomorrow. Back to the topic of systems, time management, routines, etc. There are many systems in a real estate agent's business. As a matter of fact, if you want to write this down, the rule of systems is anything that's done more than 3 times a month needs to be systematized. Now, you could even say anything that's done more than 3 times a year or even annually, because if you want to do something consistently, do it right, keep improving it, you want to checklist it, you want to systematize it in some way so that you can not only do it repeatedly the same way, but so that you can easily improve it. But we're saying there's a dozen or so basic main systems necessary for an agent's growth and success. And we've covered all of these over the course of the month. Prospecting and lead follow-up system, the systems of listing, your listing preparation system, your listing processing, handing the listing in and getting it started, your listing servicing system, your pending systems, processing your pendings once you make the sale, servicing your pendings, getting your pendings closed, your marketing systems, both online and offline marketing, your paperwork system, your goals and progress systems, your mindset and attitude systems. We've covered all those over the course of the month. And then I think it was on Friday that we said, and this is another very important point, it's kind of cool at the end of the month to summarize all these things we've covered. You must be careful to schedule what's important but not urgent. Let me explain, pause there to give you an example. Like prospecting is important but not urgent. Following up on leads is important but not urgent. Not urgent because if you don't do it today but you do it tomorrow, if you miss it this week but you miss it next week, your business may not suffer very much, if at all. They're important. If you're not prospecting consistently, if you're not following up on leads consistently, your business is going to go down the tubes. But you don't have to, it's not imperative that you do it today. Okay? You must be careful to schedule those things like prospecting and marketing. What is important but not urgent, and not be consumed every day, so preoccupied by what is important and urgent. So what's important and urgent? You know, a listing presentation. Somebody says, come over to my house, I want to talk about putting it on the market with you. If you put that off for a day, a week, a month, it's very likely other agents will come in and you may lose the listing. Writing an offer. You know, you have a buyer who wants to write an offer. It's not unlikely in many of these your markets that if they don't write the offer today, by tomorrow somebody else will have bought the house, and then you may very well lose the client for your delay. So you must be careful to schedule what's important, like prospecting and marketing, but not urgent, and not be so overly consumed by what's important and urgent, writing the offers, listing presentations, not be so consumed but you don't keep moving the important parts of your business forward, because your growth, your continuous growth is dependent on the time you spend on those important things that are not necessarily urgent. And that's why we teach you the things that we teach you. You know, that's why we teach you to take time to plan each morning, take time to plan each week, just a little bit of time, so that you're always choosing to work in the important and not be consumed by the urgent. But there's another piece, and it's goals and benchmarks. What's a benchmark? A benchmark is a part on the way to your goal. It's like if you were running if you were going to run for a mile, and you made a note that, you know, let's say you're going to run on a track. Every lap is a quarter of a mile. Okay, so each lap is a benchmark. So going past the stands, that is the place where you started, is a benchmark. It's the marks along the way that tell you where you are in relationship to your goals. So without goals and benchmarks, you will never successfully manage your time. You will never successfully get organized or implement systems. Isn't that weird? What does one have to do with the other? You know, well, it's like cooking without a recipe. You can cook without a recipe if you know what you're doing, but if you don't know what you're making and you're trying to cook without a recipe, most likely you're going to end up with a mess. Traveling without a map. If you don't know the roads, you're in a new place and you're traveling without a map or a GPS, that'd be just silly. Who knows where you're going to end up? You may end up someplace, may end up someplace you want, but it's a crapshoot. Or competing without watching the score. The other team's watching the score. The other team's managing their energy, managing their team, managing their decisions based on the score, but you're not. Unlikely that you'll win sometimes, but you won't win regularly, consistently, or confidently. So goals and benchmarks in your business give you the confidence and the security to be able to manage your time, because you're managing towards something. You know when you want to get something done. Gets you organized because you know what you're getting organized for, and implementing systems. So it's simply impossible to feel satisfied, to be organized, to manage your time without goals and benchmarks. Now, what are the SMART goals and benchmarks that you want to be watching? There's only 4 of them. They're very simple. On an annual basis, you want to be watching your sales and your income. So you want to know how much you want to sell this year and how much you want to earn. You probably want to know sales in 2 ways. You want to know the volume of sales. You want to sell 2 million, 5 million, 8 million, 20 million, a number, and how many transactions you want to sell. You want to make 20 sales, 30 sales, 50 sales, 70 sales, 100 sales. And you can measure both of those ways. They do add up based on your average price range. We won't go into that now. But you want to have annual goals set for how much you want to sell and how much you want to earn. And then you want to have monthly goals. You want to break down those. You probably want to also have an annual goal for how many listings you'll take that will work into your sales, because you need the annual number in order to set your monthly goals. You want to know how much you're going to sell each month, how much you're going to put under contract each month. Now, we talked about going under contract versus closing. That's another piece of the conversation. but you want to know how much you're going to sell, how much income you're going to earn, how many listings you need to take each month. What's your goal for July? Not June. June's about to end. What's your goal on those categories for July? And you want to know what your initial appointment goal is for each week. See, there's so many options. There's too many options and too many choices and too many priorities for you to make good decisions with confidence if you're just thinking randomly. So how do you do it? There's only one way. You have to know where you're going so that you can know when you get there. You know you wanted to hit $700,000 in sales for June, and you did 825. Congratulations. Or you did 625. You fell short, but you have to know where you're going so that you can know how to get there and when you get there, and to know whether what you're doing this day, this week, this month is actually getting you where you want to go. Again, if this doesn't make sense to you, it's because perhaps you haven't been keeping track of your goals the way that we teach you to. You see, when you have clear goals and benchmarks that motivate you, you're no longer distracted by gossip. People say things and it takes you out of your rhythm, by bad habits, by people's attitudes, by the weather. Man, when you have clear goals and benchmarks, you're focused, and it's hard for, all those like Rock'em Sock'em movies with all the superheroes, so to speak, all the good guys, the Clint Eastwoods, the Jason Statham's, the whoever your favorite action hero is, so to speak. They have a clear goal in mind, a clear set of standards they operate by. So instead of that, you are continuously focused with confidence on the future that you really desire for your loved ones. So when you do have goals and benchmarks, you're continually focused on the future with confidence. So most agents and some of you will find increased success without goals and benchmarks. You do it without it. But it happens because the market happens to be good. Or it's because you gain a skill and you use that one skill, but you don't know how that skill really fits in, so it works for a while. Or you implement something good and it works for a while. But unfortunately, that success doesn't last because it's built on a weak foundation. To build a strong foundation with successful time management, successful organization systems, you must create the system for setting your goals and monthly and weekly benchmarks. And with Real Estate Grad School, you have the absolute, undeniably, I challenge you to find better, best possible tool for keeping track of your goals and your benchmarks so that you have the kind of confidence that leads to continuous growth and success. And you look at those goals and benchmarks every day. You take 10 minutes to plan each day. You use your daily organizational checklist. And one of the things at the very top of your organizational checklist is to look at your goals, to update your charts. And then you know when you're prospecting and working on your listings and sales and you're organizing and you're maintaining your attitude, you're doing it towards the goals that you want. So it's a little obscure. I feel a little funny talking about it. It's not so black and white how all of these things fit together and how important the focus on goals is to make all of this come together. But I hope you understand it. If you don't understand it, I hope you stick with us. Coach with us. Listen to the first 15s every day. Get on the live calls. Challenge me on these topics so that you clearly understand for yourself that having clear goals and benchmarks is the absolute key to continuous growth, understanding your business, challenging your weaknesses and strengthening them, and making your strengths something that you can absolutely depend on. And then we have weekly systems we talk about, but the bottom line is the ingredient for your recipe of success today is that if you want a better business, begin to use the Real Estate Grad School success charts today. And use them for the month of July, every single day. And get on the live calls, talk to us so that you can truly understand the amazing power, and that's a huge foundation of the reason why our most successful clients are the ones who understand and are committed to knowing their numbers in this powerful way. So if you want a better business, begin to use the Real Estate Grad School success charts today. Update them daily. And if you don't have access to the charts or you want to know more about our programs, just call our office, 585-244-2700. The number's on the screen. Email us, rich@regradschool.com. You can text that same number, and we'll talk to you about our coaching programs. They are the most cost-effective, effective coaching on earth. We'd love to talk to you about it. We'd love to get you inside and help you to make the strongest business you possibly can. So make the most successful last 2 days of June you possibly can. Make that last sale. Get that last listing. Take a peek at what your goals are for July so that you know what you're working toward. How much of your July goals can you already see? Where will the sales come from? Where will the listings come from? And if you can't see them, who will you call? What activities will you take on to make sure that you hit your July goals? Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to take some great time for July 4th, for holidays, for time with the children, time in the great weather. Of course, you're going to do all that. That's actually first priority. That's why you do all this work. But at the same time, when you have control over your work, you can enjoy those times that much more. Hug the ones you love. Make a great day. Make a sale. And I will speak to you either on the live call or whenever you reach out to us. Be well. Bye.